Going.
Facebook. Send it a feed before we can go live on there. Facebook is golden and it's live. Starting. Okay, Facebook is live. Now, this just clicked. Let's see if that's gonna go live.
It says it was working.
Yeah. Oh wow, I was able to click it rather than having the spinning wheel of death.
Hopefully the update helped with that, huh?
Yeah, fingers crossed. Come on, think about it. Make it work.
See, I don't know where. There we go. There we go. Now I can see. Oh, there we go. Now I can see Facebook. We are live. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. Heck yeah.
Instagram is being weird.
Is it not going live?
I can mess with it so you can start talking and then I'll let you know when Insta's rolling.
Well, that's all right. I'll keep looking at it here too. Okay. Let's roll. Let's roll. All right. Welcome to the Jared Briggs Show. You guys, this has been fun. This is day 3. We started Tuesday this week. Tuesday, Wednesday, today's Thursday, and we are rolling with another live. You're going to start seeing a lot of content as well. Austin behind the camera here, he is really good at the content and stuff, so he's been posting, taking all of this and chopping it up into shorter videos, posting it to all the different platforms that we have it connected to. I want to point out another thing. Look at this background, though. Austin figured out how we can change one light to one color and another light to the other color. So we got the blue and green going on. That's pretty sweet, kind of fun. You guys, done is better than perfect. I'm going to share that with you right now. My wife and I have been listening to a book called Effortless. I'm actually going to give you the guy's title because if you want to simplify your life a little bit. Instagram's up? Sweet. This book has been really good. My wife told me about it. Man, how come every time you want to do something, then something's slow? Audiobooks. I was going to give you the name of it, but it's being... Oh, here we go. Effortless by Greg Mckeown. And really, like, asked some questions in there that really made me think of stuff in my own personal life of like how I can make things easier, how I can make things better. And my wife and I have been really ramping up 2026. We've talked about a lot of things, and we've had a really good week this week. Her and I together as a couple, kind of feel like a power couple at the moment, and so that's been fun. But my wife asked me on Tuesday after the first live, she's like, "How was it?" And I was like, "It's done," because I didn't feel like it was very good. This is a skill. This is something that I'm working on developing, but I did it, and done is better than perfect. Done is better than just sitting there thinking about it. So then I did the live on Wednesday, and after I ended it, I'm like, gosh, that one felt so much better. Like, I really, really enjoyed that one. And so today we've got this one going again. So done is better than perfect. So if you guys have some goals or dreams or things that you're working towards, it doesn't have to be perfect. You know, if you want to start going to the gym or making more money or be a better husband or father or whatever it is that you're working on, done is better than perfect. Start working on things. I've been working to get back into a better workout routine. So I actually completely changed my routine. Instead of waking up early in the morning, I'm like, I'm going to do it at night after my kids go to bed. So then I stay up a little bit later and I do my workout. And it's a different feel, but I've done it 2 nights in a row now. I did workout, did a bunch of stretching. I've been super tight. So the first night I did a lot of stretching. Last night I did a bunch of stretching again as well, and I did a good cardio workout and leg workout. So I'm like, perfect. Done is better than perfect. So there's some thoughts there. You guys, today's title is Ask Me Anything About Money. I'm going to talk about a few things from yesterday's conversation. I think it's important and really good. And then also, I really enjoyed people's questions. And so I'm going to go to Reddit and read some questions and talk about those things to give you guys some real life experiences and situations, and hopefully you can relate to it. My whole goal here is for you guys to relate to it and to get some information that will help you. I'm trying to see real quick how I pull up Instagram, so if anybody asks a question, I don't see anything. Yeah, I don't see anything. So if you guys ask a question on Instagram, I will try to answer it. So, but I've got my iPad right here. I've got Facebook and YouTube pulled up, so if somebody asks a question on there, I can talk about it too. You guys, money is a tool. Money is a resource. Money is an opportunity to create. You know, another thing that I really like money from a perspective of is it gives you options. And I talked about yesterday, if you guys haven't listened to yesterday's live or come across any of my videos, I talked about 3 steps to earning more money, making more money. And one thing that I enjoy about money, and that I had a mindset shift around money is a tool to buy back our time or give us options. You know, if you want to buy a different home or different vehicle or create something or do something, you know, if you have $100,000 in the bank, your options are going to be a lot different than if you have $5,000 in the bank. Vice versa on everything in our lives. Money gives us options. Money gives us opportunity. It literally does give you an opportunity to take care of your family better, opportunity to provide for them better, opportunity to give to the community, do charity work, you know, whatever your heart desires, money gives you that opportunity. So the whole goal here is to become financial stewards of our lives, to know your money. I'm going to go over the things that we talked about yesterday really quick to give you guys a little bit of a background of how important it is. And I probably am just going to talk about these things every single day to drill them into our brains and our minds and our hearts and our disciplines and our systems when it comes to our money, because they're that important. But the number one thing to earning more money, collecting more money, making more money, whatever it is that you want to say, you know, that's kind of a funny thing subconsciously for our own mind. You know, we can't make money. If you buy a printing machine and print your own money, you're going to go to prison. And so I've been working on the language thing of collecting or earning because I can't make money. So what can we do to collect and earn more money? So the first step is know your money. How much income are you collecting every single month? Are you making $3,336.27? Because guess what? That is different than $4,127.27. Okay, those numbers are close. What are they? $800 difference between those two numbers that I just said. They're close. And when you look at a piece of paper, they might be very similar. But then when you sit down and actually manage that money and know what's going on with it, and you put that money to work, you guys, one is significantly more than the other. And so how much do you know your money? Do you know your income? Do you know what you are bringing in on per paycheck, per month, per year, per quarter, however it is that you look at things? I'm a month-to-month basis kind of a guy. I look at the month-to-month. The end year thing is cool to look at, but I really look at like month-to-month, because then I can know based on my wife and I's goals, our plans, business plans, personal plans, all of that, what I can do with my money every single month and then leverage that forward. And so I like to look month to month. But do you know your money? Do you know what is going on with it? Step 2 is create a wealth creation plan. You'll never hear me use the word create a budget. I don't like the word budget. Budget is limiting. It limits us. Nobody likes to be told what to do. Nobody likes to be told what they can or can't do. Women, I know for sure. Men, for me, there's something about it when somebody's like, you can't do this. And I'm like, you want to watch me? There's just something about it. I don't like that. Whether you're on the aggressive side of that or not the aggressive side, it is frustrating when people tell us what we can and can't do. And so I look at a budget that way. It limits our mind. It limits our abundance thinking. It limits our expansion into everything. And so maybe there's a better word for this, but I use a wealth creation plan because I'm trying to create wealth. Wealth is generational. Doesn't matter what's going on in the economy. You can be rich, but riches come and go. I want to be wealthy. I want, no matter what happens in the economy, no matter what happens to my family, no matter what happens in the country, no matter what happens in the world, no matter what happens, period, I want to be in a position where I'm in control of those things. If inflation goes up, it doesn't freaking matter. Now, I want to be in a position that I can influence for good that those things don't happen, and politically and all these different things. I want to have influence on my own self for that. But at the end of the day, I want to tell life what it is that I want. So I always use a wealth creation plan. That's what I like. That's what I've created. Maybe you guys got a different name, whatever it is. But what a wealth creation plan is the step 2 with knowing your money, but then also knowing where your money is going, knowing what your money is doing, knowing what the purpose of your money is. I used the example yesterday, if you have a job and you go to the job and they've never given you any plan or any job titles or anything of like, this is what you need to do every day, you literally just go sit there and be like, what should I be doing? Money's the exact same way. If you read the book, The Richest Man in Babylon, he says, money must be guided or it will disappear. Okay, so that's what you're doing with wealth creation plan is you're guiding your money. You're telling your money what to do. You're giving it a purpose. You're giving it a plan. And instead of it disappearing, you were the one that directed it. You were the master over that penny, over that dollar, over that $100 and beyond, telling it what to do and where to go. So this wealth creation plan is knowing your income, knowing what your fixed expenses are, knowing what your variable expenses are, and your goals, dreams, and plans, and calculating all that. I use an Excel sheet. I don't use any crazy systems or plannings or anything. I use a very, very, very simple Excel sheet. I can set one up in 5 minutes for people. It's so simple. I like to keep it simple. A wealth creation plan is simple. Truth is simple. Money is simple. The principle of money is simple. All of it is simple. We got to stop complicating it. There's all these apps and systems and programs, and I've tried using them. I've looked at them like, maybe I should. And I felt like I spent more time trying to figure out how to use the app than I did actually being the master of my money, being the person that's guiding it of where to go. And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stick to my very simple Excel sheet system. At the bottom of the wealth creation plan is the goals, the dreams, the desires. That's where the magic happens. That's where the fun happens. That's where the excitement and the leverage happens. So if you have a goal to buy a house, we create that as a line item. We're going to put $500 a month towards that goal, or $1,500 a month, whatever your financial situation is. We're going to put that into there. I'm a believer that you can have everything. You can be a good spouse. You can be a good parent. You can be a good citizen. You can be a good person in the community. You can be a good leader. You can be a good business owner. You can be a good employee, team member. You can be good with finances. You can be good at managing your time. I believe there is a way for all of it. I'm tired of this thought process that you can have one or the other. You can either have a lot of money and no time, or no time and not much money. Like, I don't believe in that stuff. I believe there is a way. I don't believe God made us one-dimensional. I don't think he just put us here to you're here to struggle. Your lot in life is to struggle financially. I don't believe in that crap at all. I believe that we are capable human beings of achieving greatness in our own definition, in our own form of who God made us to be. And so in this wealth creation plan, if there is something that is important to you, maybe you personally or you and your spouse, whatever your life situation is currently at the moment, there's a way for you to be good at all of those things. And that is what I want to unlock. And that's what I want all of you to unlock and experience at the same time, is you can have all of it, but we have to plan for it. There's all these people online, all these financial gurus, and I'm getting frustrated listening to it because I'm like, a lot of it's terrible financial advice. I don't know, maybe this is terrible financial advice. But it's like you're broke because you buy a coffee every day, or you're broke because you stop at the gas station to buy an energy drink every day. And it's like, okay, let's do the math really quick. An energy drink, I mean, if you buy two, they're $5.50 for Monster. So let's go after that. So 365 divided by 2, so that's 182 times $5.50. That's $1,003. $1,003.75. So if you bought a Monster, if you drink a Monster every single day and you bought it at the gas station, you're going to spend $1,003.75. Now, if you live in a state where they pay tax, it might be $1,200-$1,300. I don't know. You're not broke because you spent $1,000 on an energy drink. I'm sorry, but you're not broke. You're not poor. You're not struggling financially because you spent $1,000 on a drink. Now, maybe at the start, maybe you shouldn't be spending that money, right? Maybe you need to look at your financial situation and be like, you know what? I'm living completely freaking paycheck to paycheck, and this just does not fit right now. But I promise over your lifetime, that is not why you're broke. That is not why you're poor. It's a complete management. And so what I'm saying here is if those things are important to you, if going on vacations is important to you, if driving newer, nicer vehicles is important to you, if having a nice home is important to you, if having good insurances and healthcare and all these different things are important to you, if dressing nice and wearing nice things is important to you, that's great. If those things aren't important to you, great. It doesn't matter. The wealth creation plan is 100% individual. It is 100% individual per person. And so if those things are important to you, we're going to create a plan for those things. I get money every single month that I get to blow on whatever I want. My wife gets money. My wife just did something yesterday that I wouldn't have spent the money on that. She got a piercing, and it was like $110 plus some of the other stuff. And I'm like, holy freak. Somebody needs to start building businesses, piercing ears. Like I was like, oh, what did it cost? 20, 30 bucks? No, it didn't. But guess what? She has money that is literally in a specific savings account for her that she can do. If she wants to pull all of it out and go lay it on blacks at the casinos, freaking go for it. I have zero say on that money. Okay? That is fun. That is a plan. That is a system that her and I both agree on. She gets money to blow. I get money to blow. Sometimes I want new shirts, or I want to buy a gun, or I want to buy a something for my gun, or hunting, or something fun, or whatever. I'll use that account for it. Some months, like I'm saving up. I want a new fly fishing pole at the moment. You guys, fly fishing is freaking fun. My brother and my dad and I are actually planning some fly fishing trips this coming summer. And I'm a little bit frustrated it's winter right now because I'm super excited to go. But my fly fishing pole was from Walmart 25 years ago, probably 25 years ago, 25 years ago. And it's just given out on me. And so I'm like, if I'm going to buy one, I'm going to buy a really good one that I can take care of. I'm like, if a Walmart one can last over 20 years, if I buy a really good one and that's the exact style and length and all that I want, it's going to last me 100 years. And so I'm like, I'm going to save up this account, and I'm going to go buy me a really a nice fly fishing pool and some of the things that we want to go do. So because we got some really good trips planned. Guess what? That's within the wealth creation plan. I've literally strategized and planned on how to pay for that experience. It is completely built within the financial system, but it all comes from the fact of being a master of your money, being the steward of your money. You telling your money what to do, where to go, when to go, how to go. Everything about being the steward of your money. And it works. So that's step number 2. Number 1 was know your money. Step number 2 is create a wealth creation plan and take that knowledge of your money and create that system and that plan. So every time my wife gets paid, I pay myself, all that money's in our personal account. I take those things, put it into my system, and I manage it every single month. I transferred her account, I transferred my account, I transferred to our investment account. I transfer into, other, like we've got some house projects we want to finish. So I'm putting money into those. I just told my wife, I was like, I want to get more prepared. If ye are prepared, you shall not fear. With the things going on in our economy and the government, and, who knows who's going to piss off who and political stuff, right? Well, I don't want my family to struggle or hurt because something happened politically. And so the scriptures say, if you are prepared, you shall not fear. So I told her, I said, hey, I'm going to take $300 a month. I'm going to put into a specific account. and I'm going to start buying some of the things that I feel like we need. And then my wife and I are going to talk about those things and discuss those things. I've put a list together for her, my son, my daughter, and a few things for myself, and we're going to get those things put together. That's part of the plan. The next step is increase income. Now, to increase income, I am going to sit here and tell you that by knowing your income, by creating a wealth creation plan, you're going to increase income because of it, 100% because of it, because now you're in control of your money. You are the one taking and telling your money what to do. And by studying that, by creating this process and this system, it's just, you're going to make more money anyway. But so many people focus on money from the perspective of how do we save? How do we save? How do we save? How do we save? And how do we cut expenses? I hear this all the time. All the time, people trying to cut expenses. You know, oh, maybe we should shut off our TV. Which, yeah, I mean, if you're not using it, great. Shut off those things, those subscriptions and all those things. But you can only cut so many things out of your life before inflation or the cost of things or this happens or you have a child or whatever the situations of life are, and your expense is going to increase anyway. So you're going to make more money from your system because you're going to be earning more interest. You're going to have more in your savings. You're going to have better investing. You're going to have better all of these things. But by you having a good strategy and by you having a good system financially, you can stop worrying and stressing about money and finances. I tell people you should create a system and a process where you know your money. You've created your plan, and it's something that you've developed the discipline that you can operate with it without even thinking about it. And when you do that, you can literally put 5% of your energy towards your system, towards your wealth creation plan, because money comes in and you manage it and you're done. Money comes in, you manage it and you're done. Money comes in, you manage it and you're done. How most people operate at the moment is paycheck to paycheck and I think I'm good. I think I'm good. I think we've got money there. I think we can do that. Why do you think credit card debt is so high? Why do you think mortgages are so high? Why do you think car loans are so high? Like we are operating from a position of not knowing, not understanding, not really developing that system and that process. So just by operating by, I think I'm good, I think I'm good, I think I'm good, it gets us into a mess. Next thing you know, you have $10,000 worth of credit card debt, then 20, then 30, and student loans, and this loan, and this car loan, and this home loan, and you just keep operating from a perspective of not knowing. Well, when you know, you can make decisions based on those things, okay? So it's going to make you so much better in your systems and processes. But once you know these things, and you can literally put it on the back burner in the sense of like, I got it down. My system is flawless. My plan is flawless. I know what to do with my money when it comes in. I get paid. This is what I do. This is what I'm working towards. This is the wealth creation plan, process, and system. Think if you took the other 95% of your energy and increased your income. Maybe you work a job that you could go get another certification and it gives you a $5 an hour raise. $5 an hour times 40 hours a week times the year, you just increase your income. Now you have more money to manage, more process and system to develop. Well, what if you learn something where you start a side hustle? Or what if you finally figure out that way to start that business? Or you finally have the savings and the investing to start the business because you've been disciplined with your money. You see, that's another problem with opportunity in America is there's opportunity all over the place. And people are hearing about opportunities all the time. But if we don't have the capital, if we don't have the cash, if we don't have the access to money to be able to execute and leverage those things, it's going to pass us by. You know, I mean, there's so many things in the stock market or crypto or real estate or any of the other number of things that are going on in the world where it's like, man, if I had the money, I would do this. Well, get the money, create the process, create the system to have the money. And when that opportunity comes up next, you can execute and leverage and take action. So that system puts you in a moment of power where now you can take all your time, effort, and energy, the other 95%, and focus on learning to invest, focus on crypto, focus on stocks, focus on life insurance, focus on starting a business, focus on gaining the new certifications and learnings and all of these different things that are available. I mean, think about if you take that extra 95% of your effort and energy and time and system, like most people lay in bed at night stressing about how to pay their bills. Well, if you had a process and a system that took care of that automatically, now you're laying in bed thinking about how to increase your income. Okay, that's just taking ownership of our lives. We got to stop blaming the government. We got to stop blaming these processes and these systems and everything that's going on. You guys, we are the problem. You see, nothing changed until I realized I was the problem financially. I'm the one that made the money. I'm the one that managed the money. I'm the one that didn't know what was going on with the money. I'm the one that's responsible for those things. So if I take ownership and it's like, okay, here's my reality. Here's what's going on. And I educate and I learn and I build these things. Is it going to happen in a day? No. But I developed this over 1 month. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna do this 1 month. I'm gonna pay myself $25 this month. That was literally the first thing that I did was pay myself $25. And it started to create this discipline and build this system where my wife and I started saving and saving and saving and saving. And then opportunities came up. We had the capital, we leveraged, and we took action. And so by you developing the system and then taking all of that effort, all that other stress and worry about money, and start creating a process and a system so that you can increase your income, there's so much value to that. So much value to that. I had something pop up right here. Let's check this out. Trying to get all this live stuff figured out. Sorry about that, guys. Here we go. Live again. Okay, so I'm going to talk about this a lot because having a system, having a process, knowing your money, having a wealth creation plan, and then increasing your income and learning areas and studying areas of how to increase your income, you guys, that's wealth creation right there. It's 100% responsibility on our own end. And so I hope you guys do those things. Like go figure out what you're making, go create a plan, and then increase your income. It's simple, but it's not. Like it takes time, and it's something that you guys need to do. All right. I want to switch gears a little bit because yesterday I did this, and I pulled up Reddit and read some questions, and I like that live stuff. I like it. So we're going to do some more of that. So here's a question. Lady Shiro, LADYSHIIRO. It's in the debt page, r/debt. I've been learning how to use Reddit, so they have all these different pages and different things. So this is what one it is. So I'm going to read this to you guys, and we're going to talk about this. We're going to do a couple of these. How can I handle my smallish debt? And smallish is in parentheses. So let me flip this real quick and show you guys. So I'm literally reading someone's post on Reddit. So I'm going to read these things. How cool would it be if somebody came across this video and they're like, holy crap, that's me. I'm the one that asked that question. That'd be cool. I'm 25, live by myself, and barely scrape by paycheck to paycheck. My situation was a little worse last year, and I ended up with $1,150 worth of credit card debt. I've tried chipping at it here and there, but the interest just eats it all up. Before all this happened, I had a sparkling credit score in the 800s. Now I'm in the mid 600s. So I'm upset about that too. I had 5 years of perfect payment history for it, and now it's just ruined. How can I handle this? Okay, interest is eating that up, right? How I would advise to handle this situation, if you're in the situation where you have credit card debt or any type of debt that you're trying to get paid off, it is so much more fun. And I'm going to use the reference of Richest Man of Babylon. Our COD says having money to jingle in our purse. We don't have purses nowadays, where they tied up to their belt or their pants or whatever, and that's where they kept their money. Most of it's in banks or apps or whatever the heck we use to manage our money. What would I advise this person to do is make the minimum payment. I want you to get this thing paid off, and I'm going to tell you how to get this thing paid off. Make the minimum payment. Everything extra, create a wealth creation plan, a specific savings account in your bank account. Every extra penny goes into there. So if you're like, I was going to pay an extra $30 a month, take that 30 and put it into there and figure out how to get that account as big as possible. Every extra dollar, side hustles, go clean your neighbor's car, clean your neighbor's house, do anything you can. Like, hey, how can I make $100? How can I make an extra $200? How can I do something? Get aggressive with it. Especially $1,150, you could have that paid off in 2-3 months, a month. You could have that paid off really quick. But instead of sending all of the extra money to that credit card and letting it get eaten up by interest, I like the motivating factor of seeing my bank account increase. So take that money, anything extra, and put specifically into that savings account and get aggressive to get that savings account as large as you can. Then from there, set up, hey, every time this hits $1,000, I'm going to take 800 of it and pay on it. And then do that again. So then you have a $200 buffer, you guys. I believe it's good to have extra. I don't think it's good to have everything leveraged, because what happens if you blow a tire? What happens if your washer goes out? What if you have a medical thing come up? What if you have some stinking expense? You know, it's time to register your vehicle or pay this thing or da-da-da, and you're like, oh, flip, I don't have that. So you don't want to suck your bank accounts down to nothing, but you need to have a reserve. And so create a plan. We're like, okay, every time this gets to $1,000, I'm going to take 800 of it and pay it off, and then build and build and build and build. And as soon as that credit card's paid off, just keep doing it and build that account. How do I get it to $5,000? How do I get it to $10,000? How do I increase my income? That is a plan that is exciting because you see your money. You see it building. You see it growing. If you read Richest Man in Babylon, they're going to say take 10% of everything you make and pay to yourself. I love that strategy. You guys, I use that strategy. And so use that process and system. But instead of sending everything extra and letting it get eaten up by interest, I would be like, okay, I'm going to make minimum payments and I'm going to start stuffing as much money into an account until there's enough money in that account, and I'm going to pay it off. And I'm going to get it done in 2 months. I'm going to get it done in 3 months. Okay? So that's a great question. There's a lot of good comments in here. There's quite a few comments. Maybe I should hit the voice thing and then just publish it right there. But that's what I would do to accomplish that situation right there. All right, we're going to go with this one. Bored Bat Woman 22. I have no money. Down to my last $50. I keep trying to get motivated and be productive, but it's hard to, when all you can think about is being unemployed. I just ended up laying on the ground all day because I hate being alive. Man, that's too bad. I only really shower and brush my teeth now if I have somewhere to go, like a job interview. I applied for unemployment and put down the wrong address by mistake, so I'm still waiting to hear back if I'll receive it or not. If not, goodbye health and dental insurance, and my credit that I've worked so hard on is going to go to shit. Okay. Why are we so worried about credit? I get it. If you're in the moment of like, hey, I need to buy a house, or I need to buy a car, or I need to buy this, then credit is important. But if you're not using credit on a day-to-day basis, it's a freaking score that really doesn't mean a whole lot. Like, you just need to have a good, like, people are so hung up on, I got to have an 820 credit score. Why? I mean, yes, I'm not telling you to not pay your bills, but do you guys realize what credit is? Like, we need to learn how to use and leverage credit. Most places, if you have a 740 or higher, they're going to give you the best rates that they offer. So I don't understand the big worry of credit. I mean, I have good credit, but it's a product of the process and the system that I have, not because I'm focused on it. And next thing, if you guys are really that freaking worried about your credit, a credit card is the best way to build good credit. We use a credit card every single day. It's the only thing I use. I don't even have a debit card, and I never will have a debit card. I guess unless the government bans credit cards, I'd have to get one. But I don't like debit cards. So credit's really not that freaking important unless you need to use the credit. So let's just get that out of the way. How about we solve the problem of this person's life. Like credit doesn't even freaking matter. Motivation, productivity, excitement, goals, dreams, desires. That's what's important in this situation. So I would tell this person, forget the freaking money, forget the credit, forget all of those things, health insurance, dental insurance. That doesn't matter. If you hate your life, what is the point of all those other things? How about we get back to a moment of enjoying your life? And this is what I would share. If you didn't have to make money, if you didn't have to work, if you didn't have to do anything that you felt like you needed to do, what would you spend your day doing? Like, honestly, what would you spend your day doing? What do you enjoy doing? What are you passionate about? And just go freaking do it. Go do that. Get up and be excited about something. Go get a job in some type of field that you want. I mean, you're not making any money right now, so something would be better than nothing. The next thing is, I'm sorry, but I hope people stop getting approved for unemployment. Unemployment is for a purpose of a tool. It's a tool and a resource for the American people that if something bad happens, then it's there. But this person just has no goals, dreams, desires, passions, plans, nothing. It's not our tax dollars' fault that you're in this situation. It is our own responsibility to get out of these things. Everybody is hiring. Freaking McDonald's has been hiring straight for the last 27 years. When's the last time you walked into like a Walmart or a gas station or a Subway or something and it didn't say, we are hiring? At the freaking very first poster that you see, we are hiring, apply online. Everywhere says that. Everywhere says that. Okay? It is our responsibility to take care of ourselves. This person, Bored Batwoman 22, like I feel for you. I've been in moments where I've been down and depressed, and I realize that every time I get into that situation, I've lost focus of what it is that I really want in life. You see, when we focus on our goals and our dreams and the things that make us excited, we're excited to wake up in the morning. We're excited to get ready. We're excited to go pursue those things. You guys, what I'm doing right now, I would do this all day long if I could. Maybe I freaking should start doing that. Take my own advice. I've got my businesses and stuff that I got to run, but I love doing this. I enjoy talking about these type of topics. I enjoy sharing the things that have helped me get out of a very stuck position financially. Excuse me, I keep getting the hiccups. These very stuck situations in my life. And the excitement is, I want to live a good life. I want to enjoy my money. I want to do some cool trips. I want to live in a nice home and all these different things. That's motivating and inspiring to me. And I just have this passion to share these type of things. And so I've been working on it for the last 5 flipping years, figuring out how to podcast and how to create content and how I could do this. I'd love to figure out how to make money doing this. And I'd love to figure out how to create an opportunity to help thousands, if not millions of people create a better mindset, a better life, a better financial situation. That is what I'm passionate about, and that's what gets me excited. So I would advise you, Bored Batwoman, change your name, Bored Batwoman. Like, is bored because you're bored? Like, think of the programming, think of the language, think of the thoughts, think of everything that we are saying in our lives and telling ourselves. You need to look at those things and get around more positive people. Get around people that are doing something and creating something here. So I'd advise you of those things. You're in a good situation. You're down to your last $50. Great. I don't see anything on here that you're $75,000 in debt. You're practically zero. You're worth more than a lot of people. Most people are in an enormous amount of debt. So guess what? Even though your credit's dropping, you're worth more than a lot of people because you're positive $50. Look at the bright side. Look at the bright side and go take action, something that you like and desire. Even if you don't make a lot of money at it, go do it because you like doing it. Help, paying off debt and dating. I don't think I have any dating advice, but I'm gonna talk about the debt part. We'll do a couple more of these. I enjoy them. I like looking at these things. I'm gonna pull up YouTube and stuff real quick if you guys have any questions. Nope, don't see any questions there. Don't see any questions here on Facebook. Okay. It's all good. That is all good. Looks like someone's watching. Maybe it's just me. Anyway, Help paying off debt and dating. Hi, I am 30 years old, a 30-year-old female. I am attempting to get out into the dating world again, but have a lot of credit card debt. I am working to pay it off, but I also feel a lot of shame surrounding it and kind of want to wait until I pay it off to start dating more seriously, but that may take around a year. Is that reasonable, or should I not put my life on hold? Never put your life on hold. Never, ever, ever, ever put your life on hold. Because guess what? What if something happens in the next week and you end up in a wheelchair? Do you think that's going to change your life? What if some freak accident happens and you end up in a wheelchair? Or what if some freak accident happens and you're in a coma for the next 2 years and then you pass away? Or what if, you guys, there's a number of things that could happen. Live every single day. There is a way. Oh, sorry. This is enough _AD 4929. There is enough money. There is enough opportunity. There is enough everything in this world for you to have everything that it is that you want. So create a wealth creation plan. Know your money. Okay. Create a wealth creation plan, and then focus on how to increase income and get really disciplined and specific with your money. Pay that credit card debt off every single day while you live your best freaking life. Pay the credit card debt off every day while you live your best freaking life. Because tomorrow, there's no guarantee. We have zero guarantee that we're going to wake up in the morning. So do we want to be moving on? Whatever you believe in, I believe that we go to heaven and, God and Christ, I believe in those things. I don't want to be looking from heaven back down at earth or however all of that works and being like, gosh, dang, I wish I would have lived. I was trying to pay my credit card debt off, and I really wanted to get married, and I wanted to date, and I wanted to this, and this, but I was so focused on this, I shut my life off for it, and now there's nothing I can do about it. Like, that would suck. That would suck really bad. So live your life. Live your life to the fullest and pay your debt off. Get disciplined. Get aggressive. If you can pay it off in a year, if you're in a situation you could pay it off in a year, if you got very specific, you could pay it off in 6 months. Promise you. Let's find another one. Another credit score one. We ain't doing a credit score one. What is everyone doing for extra income? I'm very curious. Oh, this is a consistent _soup _8765. What is everyone doing for extra income? I'm very curious. I would like to pick up a side gig in addition to my full-time job. I work from home 2 to 3 times a week and create my own schedule for the most part. What do you like to do? What is your passion, dreams, goals, desires? Like, what is it that you love to do? Do that. Do that. I mean, we're using a social media platform right here. You're watching me from social media. Do you see how many people are making money from social media? Do you see how many people are doing? I was on a call the other day. Okay, I'm a part of this group. I was on a call the other day. This lady created a thing where she teaches people, like a course, teaches people how to create felt hats, and she's made almost $1 million selling that course. She loves it. She started making them for her kids. She loved it. She's like, what if I taught other people how to do this to teach for fun for their kids? And I don't even understand it, like felt hats. I don't know what they're talking about. But anyway, and she did it, and she's made almost $1 million in a year. Who's the lady that wrote Harry Potter? Have you ever heard the story of why she wrote Harry Potter? She was as poor as dirt, couldn't afford books and stuff for her kids. So she started writing them stories, and she wrote Harry Potter to entertain her kids because she was so poor. I think she's worth like $1 billion or something now. What do you like to do? What do you love to do? Make that your extra income. Get creative. Man, if you love to clean vehicles, freak, you could go detail cars and make an extra $500, $600, $700, $800 a day. Where should I invest my savings? This is a good one. Pretty simple question. I would like to, Make Change 25. I like it. So this is from Make Change 25. That's kind of the cool thing about Reddit is everybody makes up like crazy names. Like on Reddit, my handle or whatever you call it is Money Man. I always call myself the Money Man. Like when I go golfing, I write a $sign on my golf balls. You know how everybody marks their golf balls? If you don't golf, you don't know that. but everybody has their own like the little thing they do on their golf ball. I just do a dollar sign. I'll do a dollar sign, rotate it, do another dollar sign. And so I'm like, hey guys, I'm the money man. Like if we're in a group of 4, if you see a dollar sign, it's my ball. Don't touch it. Unless you're going to kick it closer to the hole, you can touch it. All right, where should I invest my savings? Pretty simple question. I would like to know where I should put the little money I have saved. Good for you. I don't care if it's $1. I don't care if it's $100. I don't care if it's $500,000. Good for freaking you. Don't call it a little money because all money is valuable. If you find a penny on the street, guess what? It has monetary value. It is a penny, and it is worth something. I have a couple thousand I want to put in a high-yield savings account and don't know which one to choose. Do I have to contribute more money to it every month? Does it? No, you don't. Maybe some banks do, but every bank account I have, which is 3 different bank accounts, doesn't matter. You don't have to contribute to it. You can put $1,000 in there and just let it sit. Does it work like a piggy bank that grows over time where I can put in any amount at any time, or is it way more complicated? No, it's not more complicated. It's as simple as you freaking want it to be. Sorry, just a 20-year-old girl trying to figure life out. Good for you. Good for you. I'm glad you're asking these questions. Oh, man, I said that. I wonder if I did this, what would it do? It actually did that. I'm going to start responding to these people this way, guys. All right. Most bank accounts. This is another topic, you guys. It is silly. It is absolutely silly to have a bank account that charges you a fee. Did you know you need to look up, it just left my mind. I always forget the name of it. Anyway, there's a thing that banks do of how much, we'll talk about that another day. Okay. Banks make money off every freaking penny you deposit in there, whether it's in your checking, whether it's in your savings, does not matter. Banks make money off your money, okay? It is absolutely silly to have a bank account that charges you a fee, okay? If they are charging you a checking account fee and a debit card fee and a savings account fee, absolutely freaking silly. I don't even care if it's $20 a year for all of it. Stupid. Find you a credit union, find you a bank account, find you something that does not charge fees, okay? I share that because this individual, this young girl, this lady is asking, do I have to contribute? Are they going to charge me? Is it more complicated? No, it's not. I have in my bank account, the one that I operate my personal life from, like I said, I have a couple. My personal life that me and my wife operate from, 0 fees. Completely 0 fees. We have a money market account. So there's regular savings accounts and then there's money market accounts. The money market accounts earn a little bit more interest and sometimes those have more restrictions and more like, hey, you got to have 500 in here. You got to have 100. Some of those things do. But in this situation, that would be fine for you. I haven't found a bank that doesn't sometimes have those. I've been with my bank for so long, so I've never noticed any fees, and I've even asked them, and they're like, oh, well, you got it a long time ago, and so stuff's changed now. I just opened a new business account like 2 years ago for my business, for one of my businesses. There's 0 fees with all of those things. And so use those, okay? If you're looking for those places, I'm going to share with you guys. I've studied whole life insurance, the infinite banking concept. I now keep very little money in my bank account. All of my money goes to my whole life insurance policy because it earns interest while the money sits there and it earns interest when the money isn't there. If I have 20 grand in a whole life insurance policy and I borrow 20 grand from that policy, it's still earning interest in a dividend and growing, even though I've got the $20,000 out of there. It's super cool. It's like I had a guy explain it to me this way, the Hoover Dam on the Colorado River. He's like, wouldn't you love to own the Hoover Dam? I'm like, yeah. He's like, it was a big time investment at the start. You know, they spent probably millions and millions of dollars on it a long time ago. But can you imagine how much money they've made off of power in the since it's been built and been there? And I'm like, yeah, I wish I owned the Hoover Dam. And he's like, that's exactly what a whole life insurance policy is. You still get access to the money, but you earn money on that money all the time. Okay, so that's a pretty cool thing. Maybe it's a fit for you, maybe it's not. So savings accounts like that is really good. CDs, I don't like CDs. I would never put money in a CD, because if you do a 6-month CD and all of a sudden something comes up and you need that money in 3 months, you're going to pay fees to access that money. That's why I put my money in whole life insurance. I can access it anytime I want. Nobody tells me what to do. So hopefully that answers those questions. Those were some good things. All right, let's do one more. Here we go. Embarrassed _news _460. $1,200 a month going straight to debt, and I can't handle it. Lendmark, $418 a month, $17,000 owed. CashNet, $466 a month, $2,300 owed. Affirm, that's probably a bed. That was a dumb decision to begin with. $118 a month, $1,700 owed. I need my tax refund to be at least $4,500 so I can pay CashNet. I don't even know what CashNet is. And Affirm off. CashNet really needs to go, so even if I get $2,500, I'll be gravy. This debt is eating me alive. I make $1,400 biweekly, so $2,800 a month at the hospital, and I do Spark on the side, but with my debt being so high, I'm drained every single month and stretched thin. Any advice? Quit spending money on things that you don't need. Quit buying things that you don't need. Create a wealth creation plan. Know your money. Like you're making $2,800 a month from your job, but what are you making from Spark? I know people making $3-4 grand a month from Spark. So how much are you making from Spark, and have you created a plan to get these things paid off? You're going to get a tax refund, whether it's $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, whatever. Okay, great. You leverage that. Don't blow that money. Get those things paid off. But you got to create a wealth creation plan. Like this person, $1,200 a month going straight to debt, it's your fault. I want a side-by-side so freaking bad. I've had a side-by-side, like a Can-Am Defender Max Limited, the 4-door. Like I want the beautiful one. Okay, the payment's like $700-800 a month. I could afford that, but is it smart? I don't think so. It just isn't a smart move for me right now. So are you one that has to be initial gratification instantly, or can you have a little bit of discipline and patience with yourself? So have a little bit of patience and discipline with yourself. Get rid of some of, I guarantee, $2,800 a month plus Spark. Depending on your living expenses, I guarantee you've got way more extra money than you actually think. You just haven't put it into a system. If you get an Excel sheet, put your income, put your expenses, and total at the bottom, you'd probably be like, well, where's all that money going? Okay? And then put that money to work. The Affirm, that could be paid off really quick. The CashNet, that could be paid off really quick. You take that $660 a month and the $118 a month. How much is that? I'm not good with math straight from my head. So 666 plus 118, $784 a month. You take that $784 a month, add to the Lendmark loan, you're going to have that thing paid off really quick. It's just creating a plan, ladies and gentlemen. What is your wealth creation plan? Are you in charge of your plan? Are you in charge of your money? Are you in charge of everything that's going on? Or is your money telling you what to do? Is your money the boss of you? Is your money, is your life, is life dictating everything for you? Are you taking charge of it? You're in a good situation, man. You're in a good situation. You take charge of this. A year from now, by December 31st, 2026, life is going to look way different if you take charge of this. You're going to have those two paid off, and that other one's going to get paid off real quick because you take that times that by 12. That's $9,000 between those two that you get paid off. That's $9,000 plus the 418. So what was it? 784 plus 418. Yeah, that's $1,200 a month. You take that $1,200 a month, put it all towards one thing, 1202, and add extra to that, or build up an account and then get it paid off, plus your refund, you're freaking gravy. You guys, I hope you guys realize that a tax refund means you overpaid taxes. You overpaid taxes. You literally gave the government a loan for a whole year at 0% interest. Like, you want to know why banks are some of the wealthiest organizations in the world? Is because you give them money, and then they go loan that money out to somebody for a vehicle at 7% interest. So they used your money to make 7%. Okay? When you overpay taxes, You are giving the government a loan at 0% interest, and then they're giving it back to you. So yeah, it's cool to get a refund, but wouldn't it have been cool to get that $4,500 throughout the year? Advise with your tax accountant person, and if they're not advising on these things and educating you on these things, you need a new accountant. Like, I literally try to balance my taxes to where I owe $100 at the end of the year. I'd rather owe $100 than get $100. Okay? You need to understand taxes and stuff. Yeah, that refund's cool, but you could have had that money. You could have had 2 of those things paid off, and look how much you would have saved in interest if you would have had that $4,500. Create a system. Know your money. Create a wealth creation plan and put that money to work, because you would have had that $4,500. You could have used that $4,500. All that debt would have been paid off, and you wouldn't have paid any interest on that. So you would have put even more money back in your pocket to put back into your system, and now you're in control. You're telling your money what to do. You're the boss, and now instead of inflation and life and all of these things thinking it's eating you up, now you're eating it up because you actually have a system and a process and plan. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is today's show. Thank you for listening to the Jared Briggs Show, where we talk money, we talk education, we talk systems, we talk process, we talk wealth creation and being a master of your money. If you guys have any money questions, ask me. I'm going to try to figure out how to share with these people in Reddit so that they can find this video. I think that'd be really cool to answer their question that way. But you guys have a great day. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, and be the master of your life. Go get it.